أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نويت الاعتكاف نويت الأربعين نويت الخير نويت السلوك لله تعالى في هذا المسجد على نيتكم يا سيدي مولاي الشيخ الحقاني رسول يا سيد مدد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم كلما ذكرك الذاكر وغفل عن ذكر الغافلون اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. After the passing of a family member that is very close to the family, or especially the head of the family, conditions are different and people are shaken. We're not talking about mourning, for which the Sharia period is 3 days. After that, one is no longer exchanging condolences or visiting for mourning. However, the state of the people, that's a different matter. How they continue, how they go on, how they pick up after that. And some, they don't even recover from that. Like Sayyidah Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, how long she lived after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam left this world? Not long. 6 months. And then she passed away. Though she was young. But she was broken-hearted. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had announced this to her. And that made her happy when she had received those news, that she would be the first one of his family to join him in the best of lives. Allahumma al-aish, aish al-akhirah. And oh Allah, the true life, the real life, is the life of the hereafter. The Prophet ﷺ has explained that to us, that the death of the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beginning with prophets, and most of all the Imam of prophets and the most beloved of all messengers and prophets to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is a great good for the ummah, because he said hayati khayrun lakum wa mamati khayrun lakum wa wafati khayrun lakum. I mean, that my life is a great good for you and my death is a greater good for you, because Allah gives him more, since now in Akhirah there are not the limitations of dunya. And Prophet ﷺ making dua for the ummah and istighfar for the ummah, and is close, the rahmah of Allah is close to those who do good. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is checking who will do good. And the Prophet ﷺ is put in charge of making dua for those who do good and making istighfar for those who do otherwise. We who claim to love the representative of Prophet ﷺ in our time must be especially on walking on our toes and walking on eggs in such a situation that where we are not even able to say anything, we are not even able to speak or think, except to escape in a routine of daily activities as people do. Sometimes even in ibadah, doing it out of routine, but without hudur. But we have to have hudur, and hudur of the moment, because because this is what tariqah is. To have the ibadah of the moment that you are in, the correct ibadah. Like Imam Suhrawardi, he said in Awarif al-Ma'arif, great early foundational book of Tasawwuf, he said that as-Sufiyu ibn al-Waqti, and the true Sufi has to be a child of his moment and of his time and be connected to the need of the present moment. And the need of the present moment is to heal back and soothe the hurting hearts, the weeping hearts of those in this ummah who are following Sultan al-Awliya, who are following Sultan al-Awliya, but who miss his physical frame and the chance to visit him physically, go to him physically, see him, speak to him, hear him directly, and all of those things that have been taken away from us when we are not sated yet from him. Our eyes not sated from him. But after him, physically, is something that is affecting us superficially, actually. Because deep inside we must know and we must live the fact that he is with us and that he is making dua for us and that he is watching us and observing us. And that his madad does not change with life or death. Because madad is something that Allah gives and that Allah does not need the instrument of life and is not impeded by the instrument of death for this madad to be given and to reach whoever it is supposed to reach. Must be very careful about this point, because if we make biological life the determining factor, we are making the biological life, a partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even it's not a determining factor. Even to raise our hand up or bring it down like that, it's not our life that gives us a power. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Through the customary means of biological life. Customarily. But in haqiqah, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every fraction of a moment of life and ability is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Istita'a. So, and Allah does not take back the gift that he gives to his awliya. So barzakh and this life, we make taslim of it all to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are saying now, as we were saying before, Madad ya Sayyid ya Maulana Sheikh Nazim, Madad ya Sayyid ya Habibi ya Rasulullah. Is there any change in that? May we perish long before that. Rather to think that Maulana is, or that Allah is limited by a death of his wali from continuing to give the gifts that he promised to those who follow him sincerely. No, never. But this continues. And to go back to the main point is that the moment now is asking for us to be united. The Maulana's canopy, as he has always asked us to be. And as was the whole point of having a single name, a single Sheikh, a single tariqah, that is the whole point. Although وَكُلٌّ مِّن رَسُولِ اللَّهِ مُلْتَمِسٌ, all of the tariqahs, we keep respect with all. But the problem is not just those who are against tariqah from outside. We know them, no need to name them, or against tasawwuf. And the problem is not those from other tariqas who are, bickering against this one or that one tariqah. No. But even inside a single, same tariqah, subhanallah. But worse than that, at such a time, and to have to call for this is really mind-boggling. But it shouldn't be mind-boggling. Actually, it should be self-evident that it is from shaitan. It cannot be except from shaitan. To be so glaring and obvious, so reckless. But all we do, all we can say is say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. To say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, first and last, and to continue with our duties of ibadah and zikr and salah and islah, and to remember that we have entered the holy month of Rajab. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban, 2 special months. And in Sha'ban, Prophet ﷺ fasted a lot. Also, وَبَلِّغْنَا Ramadan, and make us reach Ramadan, Sayyid al-Shuhur, clean and ready to reap the fruits of the gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us, that He gives freely, easily, in comparison to the little work that is murattab, the great reward that is murattab on a little work. That's the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He asks for a little, but He gives a lot. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. And the lot that He gave in exchange for this humble, simple bay'ah that we got so easily with Sultan al-Awliya was to connect us with Him. This connection never ends, never. This connection is an akhirah and dunya connection. It never ends. It's not just a dunya connection. It's not like a biological link of a biological father or mother and that we lose and that's it. And then, no, it is something that we are looking to akhirah from the first moment. And because He is pointing us to akhirah from the first moment. Allahu Akbar. And this continues, but there needs to be an administration, there needs to be a structure. Therefore, we pay respect to that structure. That's why Prophet ﷺ said, if 3 of you travel and more than 2 people, then one must be Amir. So, this should not put strange thoughts into our head that we are as if acting like in an office, when you move people and you fire people and you are firing people from respect or from respectful positions. On the contrary, everybody has been moved up 1 notch at least, or 1,000,000 notches, we don't know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving through such upheavals as death of His awliya on this earth. Those who are asking for guidance, Allah is multiplying that guidance for them. Because Allah knows better than us these difficult positions of our hearts, crying out sincerely, like this, crying out. You say, Ya Rabbi, what to do now? What's the next step? Next step is that death is nearer. Al-Maut Qareeb. Nearer to us than our own shoelaces are to ourselves. Subhanallah. That we are asking always to be ready and not to make mistakes, not with this, our tongue, or anything else. But speech must be good speech, especially in such a moment. At least Yahoo control, at least what a good person that told me, that is most beloved to my heart, that said, for 40 days we must make zikr. And khatam. At least that, don't we owe that to Maulana Sheikh? And a million yasin and a million khatma, like they did, mashallah, in Indonesia in one night. Maulana Sheikh Hisham said they made 1,000 khatmas. Allahu Akbar, or something to that effect, between 300 people. Hafiz of Quran in the school. Allahu Akbar. May Allah increase them and reward us with them by associating us to their intention as well. Though we don't have that amal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking the hearts of those who love His awliya more specially, because that's how He looks at the heart of His awliya. More specially, they are ibad mukarramun, like the angels, but also human beings. Ya layta qawmi ya'lamuna bima ghafara li rabbi wa ja'alani min al-mukramin. There are such people among human beings. And those mukram and mukarram human beings, we love to be with them always, and with their successors, and with their ministers, and with their mirrors that have been with them from the first hour, and also those who came later. But we give to each of them the proper and due respect that we like Imam Abu Hanifa said when he was asked, who do you prefer, Masruq or Al-Aswad? Two of the great students of Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. And he said, who am I to even mention their names with me in the same sentence? And yet we have people from much later generations judging those of that level. Who are we to say, well, we are lucky that we even can lay eyes on them. Not to mention even Maulana Sheikh. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina. We're happy to remember and recall and absorb 1 hour with Maulana Sheikh. 1 hour, 1 moment with Maulana Sheikh that is healing our heart is enough to carry us very far in Akhirah. To the best places, inshallah. And those who harm awliya, who needs to mention? So many times you have heard the warning that hadith from Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Man aadha li waliyan, faqad aadhantuhu bil harb." Whoever harms one of my awliya, waliyan. You don't know who might be, you might be harming. If it were a person of dunya that you think that they might have influence, you would be afraid. What about a person of akhirah? And here we are we seeing this? Yani pinch me. But to see Maulana, beloved and son-in-law, to have to say, be careful like that against his noble person at such a time. What can we say except we live in the strangest times and we say, Ya Rabbi, Allahumma al-aishu aishu al-akhirah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-ali al-azim, a million times. And this hadith, man aadha li waliyan faqad aadhantuhu bil harb, whoever harms any wali of mine, I have declared and proclaimed war against that harmer. In other words, there is no excuse not to know, because I have proclaimed it. لَقَدْ آذَنْتُهُ بِالْحَرْبِ, like adhan. So this is something that it means Allah is saying you have no excuse anymore. No one can claim not to know that I said it. In another hadith in the Muqaddimah of Sahih Muslim, from Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, أَنزِلُ النَّاسَ مَنَازِلَهُم, give people the station that they deserve, that is due to them. respect the position in which Allah put them. أنزل الناس منازلهم. Don't try to rob them of the respect that is due to them, especially when there are people that a lot of other people respect. Prophet ﷺ said also, أكرموا كريم القوم. Yani when there is a leader, a representative, someone that a whole community loves and respects, you must give respect to them because you are giving respect to the whole community behind them. It might be you don't belong to that community. What if you actually do belong to that community and you still don't give respect? Who are you? What kind of madness or stupidity can this be? Any insensitivity at this time? No? Subhanallah. So, I just now saw this Suhba of Maulana Sheikh. This is why I just could not believe that he has to explain this to people. So, our duty is to remind ourselves of that. Although we are happy to just sit and read the Khatam and think of Maulana and say, and make dua for Maulana. But this is what Maulana is directing us to be aware of it now. Keep unity, bring together your ranks, be a single wall of unity, of love for ourselves, for each other, and to prepare ourselves to receive the spiritual inheritance that belongs to this time, and to this time of the loss of Maulana, which is actually a growth in tariqah and a raise of Maulana to indescribable ranks, inshallah, that we will see, inshallah, in this life and in the next life. And the special time of Rajab, Sha'ban and Ramadan, Ya Rabbi, to keep us clean and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner in that time, no matter how undeserving we are through our deeds. Ya Rabbi, ala dhunubina, despite our sins. But you are the generous one, you are the giver who gives without counting. Allah yarzuqu man yasha'u بغير حساب. Ya Rabbi, yarzuqna بغير حساب واغفر لنا ببلاش Ya Rabbi. Like they say in Sham, Ya Rabbi, for free, forgive us. I will finish with this account from Dala'il al-Nubuwah, the proofs of prophethood, about the dua. The dua of Awliya, to beware. As you know, that Prophet ﷺ said, اتقوا دعاء المظلوم. And beware of the dua of the one that has been wronged. فإنه ليس بينه وبين الله حجاب. There is no barrier between that dua, the voice of that Mazlum who has been wronged, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Immediately he will take action. Especially as we said, it is a wali. You have all these hadiths that are warning us, and the dua of awliya is of that category. You must be careful. And Imam Abu Nu'aym al-Asfahani has this beautiful book on the proofs of prophethood, Dala'il al-Nubuwah. He says, with his isnad, عن محمد بن إسحاق عن عثمان بن عروة بن الزبير عن أبيه يعني عروة بن الزبير عن هبار بن الأسود قال: كان أبو لهب وابنه عتيبة قد تجهزا إلى الشام وتجهزت معهما. So this man was with Abu Lahab and his son Utayba, as they had prepared themselves to go to Sham for a trip. And he was traveling with them. He was about to travel with them. And he witnessed this, what happened. فقال ابنه عتيبة, at which time Utayba, the son of Abu Lahab, said, والله لأنطلقن إليه فلأوذينه في ربي. He said, Wallah, I'm going to go to him and I'm going to harm him with respect to his beliefs in his Lord. So I'm going to go to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I'm going to cause him harm with respect to what he loves most. فانطلق حتى أتى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. He went until he reached the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. He said, "Ya Muhammad." And he says, Utayba said, "Ya Muhammad," he says, "I disbelieve, كفرت بالذي دنا وتدلى فكان قاب قوسين أو أدنى." Took that verse, he quoted it back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he put in front of it, "I disbelieve in that one." To harm the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and harm him, especially in his relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah opened up to him on Isra and Mi'raj. And this is the month of Isra and Mi'raj. And with that closeness between Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَقَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم, said only 6 words. He did not even look at him. He made dua. He said, "Allahumma ib'ath alayhi kalban min kilabika." Oh Allah, send against that one any one of your dogs. And the kalb, the dog in Arabic, means any wild beast of yours. Like Sabi', the name for wild desert lion. Dog also is the name for wild desert lion. It's like a generic name for Sabi', like Sabi'. And that's all he said. And he went away. He left Utayba. Utayba went back to his father. His father asked him, "What happened? Tell me everything." And in one riwayah also of this same hadith, Allahumma sallit alayhi kalban min kilabik. Allah, give authority over him to one of your dogs. Sallit, yani give sultan over him. And Abu Lahab says to his son, "Ya bani," or "Ya bunay, ma qulta lahu." What did you say to him? قال كفرت بآلهه الذي يعبد. He said, I told him that I was disbelieving in his God that he was worshipping. قال فماذا قال لك? Abu Lahab says, so what did he respond to you? قال he said, اللهم ابعث عليه كلبا من كلابك. Allah, send against him one of your dogs. Abu Lahab heard this, his face changed. Because the kuffar of Quraysh knew that the dua of Rasulullah ﷺ is mustajab. The kuffar knew. What about the Muslims? Don't they know the dua of wali is mustajab? What about the people of tariqah that they know? They are not supposed to know. It doesn't take too much brains to say, at least let me not take the risk. Subhanallah. And then when he heard this, he said, "Hey bunayya, wallahi ma amanu alayka da'wata Muhammad." He said, by Allah, I swear to you, my son, I am afraid for you because of the dua of Muhammad. I don't think you are safe anymore. And he tried to stop him from going to Sham. And he said, no, I will go. No, nothing will happen. Don't be afraid. There is a lot of people with me. He said, but the road is dangerous. But anything can happen. He said, no, we're well armed, we're numerous. My father, let me go. Finally, he let him go. But he said to the people with him, each and every one of you must sleep with his sword next to him, and you must put him in the center of the campsite every night, and you must be all around him in a close circle, lest any harm comes to him. And he took an oath from each one of those people. I heard this hadith first in Sham, in one class with Sheikh one of my teachers. My teacher in hadith there, he was crying when he was telling this story, because he said, dua of Prophet ﷺ is answered, and look how this happened. And when Allah decides, nothing can stop his decision. And they all promised, and they did as Abu Lahab said. The narrator says that Abu Lahab told them, Inna Muhammadan qad da'a ala ibni da'watan. Muhammad made a dua against my son. Wallahi ma aminuha alayhi. By Allah, I no longer feel safe anymore for him, that he will be safe. فاجمعوا متاعكم إلى هذه الصومعة ثم افرشوا لابن عتيبة ثم افرشوا حوله. يعني go to that place that is on a hill, and then you go around him, and you put your night couches around him, and put him in the center and guard him with your lives. قال ففعلنا جمعنا المتاع حتى ارتفع ثم and we made a barricade, a high wall of all our stuff around him. ثم فرشنا له عليه, and on top of it he was sleeping there. وفرشنا حوله, and we were sleeping all around him. فبين نحن حوله وأبو لهب معنا أسفل, and we were with him, and Abu Lahab was sleeping further down, spending the night. وبات هو فوق المتاع, and his son Utayba was sleeping on top. فجاء الأسد, the lion came. فشم وجوهنا, and as we were sleeping, he came and he sniffed our faces, each one of us like that, and he was passing all of us. فلما لم يجد ما يريد تقبض ثم وثب. And when he did not find what he was looking for, he تقبض, يعني he braced itself, it braced itself, and then jumped. ثم وثب. He jumped to reach that high promontory that they had built for Utayba, where they thought it was the safest place of the whole encampment. فإذا هو فوق المتاع, and it found itself on top of the all of the equipment. فجاء الأسد فشم وجهه ثم هزمه هزمة ففضخ رأسه. He sniffed its face, and he just slapped him one time with its claw, and opened his skull in two. And he was still alive. فقال سيفي يا كلب. He called, my sword, my sword. Oh, the lion, the lion. Oh lion, oh the lion, oh the lion, my sword. لم يقدر على غير ذلك ووثبنا فانطلق الأسد وقد فضخ رأسه. And he couldn't do anything, and when we jumped and then the lion fled, it was already too late. فقال له أبو لهب قد عرفت والله ما كان لينفلت من دعوة محمد. All Abu Lahab said, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. No one will escape from the dua of Muhammad. And no one will escape from the dua of Sultan al-Awliya. For those whom he loves, beware of harming them. I am afraid from harming them if I ever do it by mistake. Ya Rabbi, protect me from that. ومن الله التوفيق بحرمة الحبيب بحرمة الفاتحة.